Mr. Sloan, why was the bank involved in the caging of children and financing the caging of children to begin with?
I don't know how to answer that question because we weren't.
There are very few organizers in Congress, and I do think that organizers operate differently, really about organizing and really thinking about that word, organizing.
We should not be haunted by the specter of being automated out of work, right? We live in a society where if you don't have a job, you are left to die.
That upper middle class doesn't exist anymore.
She's a socialist. She wants 7% tax rates. Those are both accurate, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Democratic, though.
Democratic socialist.
And then if people are going to call me a socialist for believing in those things, like, all right, call me a social. Like, I don't give a damn.
Why aren't we incorporating the cost of all the funeral expenses of those who die because they can't afford access to health care?
The idea of like 10% better from garbage shouldn't be what we settle for.
Unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs.
I don't have an opinion. This is backed by data.
Capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world.
There's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right.
I just introduced Green New Deal 2 weeks ago.
At 0 carbon emissions, no use of fossil fuels within 12 years.
That is the goal. It's ambitious.
One way that the right does try to mischaracterize what we're doing as though it's like some kind of massive government takeover.
What this requires is massive government intervention.
It does. It does. Yeah, I have no problem saying that. The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. Your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it? So people are like, oh, it's unrealistic. Oh, it's vague. Oh, it doesn't address this little minute thing.
Is it okay to still have children?
You try. You do it.
Right. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble when I go back to work.
So until you do it, I'm the boss.
How about that? People are trying to like introduce watered down proposals that are frankly going to kill us.
Really bringing together a cohesive strategy of putting pressure on the chamber instead of only focusing on the pressures inside the chamber.
That's a really interesting thought.
On a scale of 0 to some, how many do you give?
I think it's 0.